everyone, and welcome back to The Buzz with Bernadette. I'm so incredibly excited about our next guest because this episode is especially for, I was going to say us girls, but I guess it would be for guys too. If you have been standing in front of your closet every single morning feeling totally overwhelmed like me, like I do every single day, if you feel like you have a million things to wear but absolutely nothing that feels like who you want to be today, or if you just know deep down it's time to downsize your life, oh my gosh, that is me, then you're going to really be interested in today's episode. But before we get going, I have to mention where we are. We're coming to you from Active Wellness Spa in Victoria Park. This place is just so aesthetically beautiful and it's a peaceful backdrop for our discussion today. So welcome to the podcast, Rosie.
Thank you, Bernadette, for having me. I'm honoured to be here.
I'm so excited because I feel like I'm going to learn a lot today.
Yeah, there's a lot to dive into for sure.
I need help.
Yeah. Well, you don't. You look fabulous. But...
Now, you've got the Stylish Agency. I had a look at your website. It looks amazing.
Yes, thank you. Yep, I do have Stylish Agency.
Yes, so Stylish Agency. I've been dying to chat with you because you don't just style people. You almost empower them as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be amazing. Yeah. Now, I was going to open up with sort of like, well, what made you get into styling, I guess?
Yeah, good start because I have always been a stylist somewhat, but certified with the Australian Style Institute in 2019. So I've been doing it for friends and family for absolutely ever. My baby brother, dressing him up in my clothes, as you know, all of us girls did if you had siblings. That's
I've got a brother.
Yes, so he would hate me for saying that. But dressing up and just always having family and friends, if they needed advice on what to wear or if they're shopping, they'll send me photos. And I've always been doing it. And then one day someone sent me a link to the Australian Style Institute. And I sat on it for a while and I thought, should I do this? And that's when I realised that I could actually make a living out of doing this for people. So I've actually turned my passion into my career, which is something that I never dreamed that would ever happen.
It is the dream.
It is literally. I feel like I get to shop for a living, and is that not every girl's dream?
It's my dream.
I shop with other people's money. So, while empowering them at the same time, I'm getting that same dopamine hit that they get when they find that perfect piece. I get the same dopamine hit. So we're celebrating together.
Actually, does it help you or hinder you? Because you're shopping, for people with other people's money. Do you also, while you're doing that, go, oh, I wouldn't mind one of those as well?
Absolutely guilty. I am terrible at that because the day before we actually do a pre-shop, the day before we go shopping, I do a pre-shop for my clients.
Yeah.
And I'm always one for them, one for me. And then my wardrobe is obscene. It's crazy. But I've now learnt to really curate pieces that I know are going to serve me for the long run rather than just a trend that's going to finish in, next year. So,
exactly. And I think one of my main problems is I will stand in front of my wardrobe. It is like, look, I used to work in retail, in fashion, and I know we used to have the 2 fingers between each hanger is the space. And I do not have that now. I start with it.
Yeah.
And then it just gets out of control.
Yeah.
So I think one of my problems is I need to really downsize my wardrobe. So, what are some tips that you can sort of, how do you let go? How do you let go?
Yeah, so
it's tricky.
This is why I have a job most of the time because people are hanging on to things that don't serve them anymore. So pieces that are for the old version of themselves, or guilt pieces that they have spent lots of money on but not worn enough, so they don't want to throw it out because maybe one day they'll wear it again, or they've outgrown it, or it's
when
just
I get back down to a size.
Yeah, exactly. So the version that they used to be, and then they hang on to that until maybe the day comes, but very rarely does it come. So dressing for the person that you are today is so important because the amount of stuff that you can hang on to and gather and gather and gather, or for that event that might happen, or that dress-up party where you're hanging onto that purple tutu or whatever, you just think it's about dressing for who you are now and how the clothes make you feel.
Exactly.
Yeah. So I think a lot of people just hang on to this version of themselves.
Yeah. So then I guess it's easier to get yourself, a third party, in to kind of do a wardrobe edit.
Yeah. Because I come in and take the emotion out of it.
Yeah.
I can come in and say, this doesn't work for you because of X, Y, Z. It could be the fit. I mean, fit is everything.
Yeah.
So, people are wearing things that are way too big for them, or way too small for them, or way too short, or it could be anything. But I can look at something and see the proportion, and that is fit and proportion is everything in an outfit. So if things are not at the right proportions, it's not going to work for you. It's not working. Regardless of your size. It's just you need to fit and create balance in an outfit.
Wow. Okay, so what are some, I guess we're in winter now, so what are some staples that we could have in our wardrobe that just to go to, like, when you don't know what to wear? And okay, so we'll answer that first, and then we're going to get to one of my other questions, which is just like, I don't have a good day look, like that summer casual. I'm either tracksuit or formal.
Yeah.
And so
it's common.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very common.
So all right, we'll get back to winter staples. Like
so winter staples, I have probably my top 5 would be a black blazer, 100%. You can wear a black blazer with absolutely anything. I normally team it with activewear with the chunky trainer. Yes. So just a black legging, black singlet, black blazer, and people think I put in so much effort, but all I've done is added a blazer.
Yes.
So a black blazer, a white shirt, so just a plain white button front shirt, because the amount of ways that you can wear a shirt, again, over activewear, just undone, just the buttons undone, scrunch your sleeves up, chunky trainer, and the white shirt will do that.
Love it.
The white shirt can also be tied in a knot, so you can do it, with the long sleeves, tie it in a knot. You can have it tucked. There's just lots of different ways you can wear it over a dress, over jeans, over pants. So a white shirt, a basic black dress, and that could be whatever suits the person. So it could be a bodycon dress, it could be a flowy dress. It just, as long as it's a nice black dress, that's going to work with your black blazer. It's going to work with your white shirt, so you can chop and change. You can wear all 3 together and layer the pieces. And then I would also have a nice pair of dark blue jeans. And the reason I say dark blue is because dark blue can translate from day to night. So you can take a dark pair and wear it all day long. Stick it on with a pair of stilettos or a pointy boot, your black blazer, white shirt, and you're done. And a black bodysuit or a black singlet of some description.
Yeah.
So those they would be my top 5, and then the accessories would be a white pair of trainers, a black boot, a good belt, a great bag, and a great pair of sunnies.
Right.
And then you can really mix and match all of that sort of stuff.
Match.
So and they're the basics. So you could pull out anything that goes underneath a white shirt, anything that goes on top of a black dress, and you've got pretty much a good chunk of your capsule wardrobe. Just by having those very simple pieces.
That is fantastic. So, and then when you're talking capsule wardrobes, like, is there tools that you can use, like, to get inspiration? Like, is Pinterest a good place to go if you're looking?
Pinterest is my go-to.
Yeah.
So when you become one of my clients, I create a Pinterest board, a Pinterest mood board for us, and just you and I are collaborating on that. So based on everything that I know about you to start with, so you've already done a consultation form, you filled out a capsule checklist for me telling me what you've already got. We start collaborating on a Pinterest board. So I already drop some looks in there, and then I send that link to you, and then you start dropping links in there. So
Can we start one?
Yeah, let's do it for sure. So it's just a really great way for me to understand where my client is.
Yeah. And what their tastes are.
And I always say to them, it doesn't have to be an outfit. It can be a hairstyle. It can be a colour that you love. It could be a bunch of flowers. It could be anything. But the more things that I have in that board helps me to find where we're going to take your style. And then I can go in. And building the capsule along with the Pinterest board is a great place to start, because once the capsule's done, that's when we start to add trends and colours and patterns and all the different things that go into making your wardrobe your personal identity. So a capsule wardrobe is pretty much the same across the board, depending on size, you know, but they're all similar pieces. And then you add the trends and the colours after that. So I always like to build first.
Yeah. It's so interesting because, you know, I thought, oh, do I need Pinterest anymore? But then once I started looking for fashion inspo, it's like, oh my God, I'm back. I'm back on with Pinterest.
Yeah.
Also, when it comes to belts, I have a love-hate relationship because a belt's really going to suit like everyone. Like, you know, when you start just putting on a little bit of weight and it's like, how can we work with belts if you don't have a tiny, teeny waist?
Yeah, belts are a tricky one, and it depends what you wear them with.
Would you wear them lower? Would you wear them higher? Or
definitely
thicker? Or...
Well, it depends on your size.
Yeah.
If you are slightly bigger, you would wear them higher. We want to create a waist no matter what we are doing.
Right.
So no matter if it's a shirt, a dress, something. I mean, obviously, if it's a fitted dress, you're going to see your waistline anyway.
Yeah.
With pants, you want to be able to see where the waist starts and stops. So you want your top to kind of sit at the right place and your pants to reach the top. Yeah. And same with a skirt and a top. You want them to just sit at the smallest place in your waist.
Wow.
So a lot of my clients, I'll use women in particular in this instance, wear their things below the waist, which your eye will tell it to go, will go where you tell it to go. So wherever that line is where you're drawn to. And most of the time, if it's not at the smallest part of your waist, we're getting bigger and bigger as we go down towards the hips.
That's right.
So what we want to do is always create the waist at the smallest piece. If you're wearing a shirt, say a button shirt, try and tuck it. So there's always one center point right in the middle of the waist. So either one tuck, a French tuck, which is the front tucked in, a tie, anything that's going to give you where you're going to look. So lines are everything when you're trying to create proportion.
Yeah.
So wearing it in the middle at the smallest part of your waist is key. So
many tips already.
Yeah.
I'm just using this whole podcast to my advantage. so like, how do women dress?
Yeah.
What are some tips to look smaller than you are?
I would 100% recommend any woman to try this, and just rather than wearing your tops low and sitting them where your hips are, your eye, the human eye is going to be drawn to where that line is, and your hips are your biggest part of your body.
Yeah.
So we want to bring that up, and it's just instant transformation. It's illusion dressing. It's just basically showing off the world this tiny waist. Yeah. No matter what size you are, everyone's got a waist, and that's where a belt can come into play, because some people are shaped differently, so they don't have a natural, concave where the waist is. So a belt is perfect for that. So, and the higher you go, the smaller your waist is, the better you're going to look. So.
And how good do you feel when you see the way a lady comes into you and then you show her what she could look like and when you see her face light up? How good does that feel all the time?
It's incredible, because still after, because I always say and I'll take a photo, because they're still looking in the mirror. They still can't see it in the mirror. So I say, I'm going to take a photo. We're going to do one with your shirt tucked where you normally have it, and one where I want you to wear it. So I'll do both, and then they look at the photos, and it's an instant change. And then from that moment, they never untuck. It's always tucked, because you can see that, because it elongates the leg. Yeah. It gives you a smaller waist. It does all the things that you want as a woman to feel like. Tall, slim, all the things.
I know, because I guess like when you put on weight, you feel like, oh, well, I just can't dress like that anymore. Yeah. And the bigger the better. And I'll just layer everything over the top.
Behind things. Yeah.
And that makes you think that makes you feel better.
Yeah.
Until you see the other options. Yeah. And then you're like, oh, okay, right.
Yeah.
Amazing. So I guess that's how you're working on empowering people as well. And you're not only doing women, you're doing men as well. Yeah. So maybe explain a little bit, like, what are the main things men are doing wrong in their styling?
Yeah, men are I have to say men are very easy to dress.
Yeah.
Because they listen.
They'll listen. Well, for that, yeah.
For that, yes, they listen to what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But it is very much the fit.
Yeah.
Men don't buy the right size clothes.
Right. Are they going smaller or bigger?
Bigger.
Oh, right.
Always
I'm an
bigger.
extra
large.
In their head,
bigger.
they think.
And so the same goes with both men and women. But buying bigger sizes is adding bulk. You're just adding extra fabric. And
I think I'm guilty. Yeah.
Yeah, adding extra fabric to something you want to actually make look smaller.
Yeah.
So the fit is everything. And also the length of their trousers. Trouser length is everything. A lot of men buy their trousers thinking, this is it. This is the only way I can wear the trouser. It's all bunched up at the bottom. What that is doing is saying to the world, I don't know how to wear my trousers.
Yeah.
So having it pinned at the right length, which is something that I teach all my male clients, whether that's a jean or a trouser, a cargo, whatever that is, trouser length is everything because it also gives length to the leg. If you're squashing all the material at the bottom of the leg, at the ankle, it's making you shorter. So once you get rid of all that bulk, it's creating shape and length.
And where should it be at the back? Like, should the length come down to the back of the shoe?
Yeah. So where I measure, I usually get my guys to take their shoes off, and I will measure to the ground.
Right.
Just so the ground. The hem should be sitting on the ground
at the back of the heel.
At the back of the heel. So it does depend. That's the traditional classic where you should pin a pant and a jean. Now things are getting a little bit shorter because,
and those tight little
look,
and the no sock
and
look.
The no sock look. That is personal preference though. The guys will say to me, I'm not interested in that. And they're okay. But sometimes I like to push the boundaries a little bit, especially if they're young and they they can pull off that kind of look with the the loafer with no sock or something like that.
Right.
And just having that a little bit shorter is okay. But it is the ideal perfect length is shoes off, pinned to the ground at the back of the heel.
Right.
So try not to have too much of a break in the trouser, and the break is that little, if it's a pleat, it's the little bend in the middle of the trouser at the front. So try not to have too much of that. One tiny little break is okay.
And when they come to you for styling, will you let them walk away with like 3 certain looks, or they will just come to you for a specific event? Or
most of the time men rarely come for an event. It's a whole wardrobe,
actually a whole
overhaul. So
no idea.
They can do a full wardrobe, casual and corporate. And what I try to do, not just with men but women as well, is blur the lines between this is my work wardrobe, this is my casual wardrobe, because most of the time you can wear both in both settings depending on what you wear it with. So if you've got a cool suit, say for instance, you're a guy with in a accounting firm or wherever you would wear a suit, put it on with a pair of trainers and a t-shirt and you're leveling it down a little bit. You can take it out to, dinner or the races or somewhere like that where you put it on with a loafer or a boot, shirt, tie, and little pocket square. Pocket squares, glad you brought that up. If your jacket has a pocket, it needs a pocket square. So
you cannot go. Oh, really?
You can.
You can.
But that is just that little bit of polish.
Yes.
Just having that pocket square in there, and just have one.
Have
one. Like you can get pocket squares now that have 4 different quadrangle, like 4 different quarters. So you can just fold them so it looks like you got
to show a specific
specific color,
and then
style. Then you can just turn it around. So
that's where men look after them. The industry, like women, we would have to buy one separate one.
But we would also need it as well.
We need it. We do. We need it. And how do you fold pocket square? Is it the case of just lay it flat and pick it up in the center kind of thing?
I have no hard and fast rule about pocket square, unless it is one of those 4-quarter pocket squares, because you have to fold it in the quarter to make it look like that colour. If it is a neat pocket square, so that's like say you're going to a black tie event and you just need a little white bit showing through the top there. Fold it nice, press it, have it sitting nice and square, so it's square. But with pocket squares, I shove and zhuzh.
And then,
and zhuzh it out. And then, I don't really put too much effort in. Normally just works. So
that's right. It does.
The colour and
you mould it like a little floral decoration.
Yes, exactly, exactly.
Okay, so now, let's see. Yeah, now, so how hard is it to help a client develop their own aesthetic, like authentic aesthetic look, so that when they leave you, you know, that or do you still get them calling you every day, sort of like saying, I need more help? How do you give them the tools or teach them, I guess, to keep doing this on your own and this is the way you go?
Yeah, it happens throughout the whole process. So first of all is the wardrobe edit, second is the personal shop. And as we're dressing each piece, I'm teaching them as we go.
Yeah.
So this is where you wear your pant length. This is where you should wear it on the waist. These are the styles that suit you. This neckline works for you. This, sleeve works for you. If they've got broad shoulders, a small waist, or, whatever it is, I'm teaching them as we go along the way.
And it's specific.
It's specific to each person because every body shape is different. So, the basics are the same. The fundamentals of styling is the same. So, your capsule wardrobe. So, your dark blue jeans, your white shirts, white trainers, that sort of thing. But we make them different. So if I'm dressing a 18-year-old kid, which I have done, they're probably looking at something like Vans or a Veja shoe, whereas a 45-year-old guy is looking at a Lacoste or a Tommy Hilfiger shoe. So it depends. So as long as it's a white trainer, I don't care because that's going to bring the outfit together. So depending on age, what they do for work, it's the same, but slightly different for that person.
Yes, it's tailor-made for them.
Tailor-made. And then by the end of the shop, they're the ones they're coming to me because they've learned all this stuff and they're really excited now, and they're the ones suggesting, can I try that on? Do you think I should try that? And it's awesome because all the work that we put in for the hours before that have now come to fruition, and they are now feeling confident. And then when we finish, I offer a pocket coaching service. So if they feel at any point they think, I'm still not sure about this, does this shirt look good? They can send me a selfie and I'll advise. Yeah. Most of the time they nail it. They just need that validation and reassurance.
Yeah, they just need validation. Yeah.
So
that's so good.
Yeah, and it's so just rewarding to see it happen. And then they're going up and doing this themselves now.
So good. Yeah. And what's your take on labels in terms of accessories, handbags, and clothing? Would you suggest for certain pieces you do invest in a little bit of a really good quality, and then other things you could sort of, mix and match a little bit?
Yeah. All of that also depends on a client's budget.
Yeah.
So if I'm working with a lower budget, I will suggest we need a good pair of, obviously, shoes. I don't really like to compromise on shoes because they're something that you wear all the time. Yeah. So a good pair of shoes and jackets. Mm-hmm. And everything else kind of evolves.
We can work with it.
You can really work. But I really feel like style doesn't have a price tag.
Yeah.
It's how you wear it and it's how confident you feel in it. Exactly. So you can go to the thrift store and pick up, as I do, and you can pick up the most incredible things, and 100%. It doesn't cost you a lot just knowing how to wear it. And I feel when you're working with me, the clothes are the icing on the cake. Yeah. The clothes are the final piece. It's what happens underneath and it's the journey that person goes on from start to finish.
Yeah.
And then they know what they're doing and they know the pieces that work for themselves, and they can go out and do that by themselves, and then it makes sense. So yes, some labels will work for certain people, but I don't like to say you'd have to buy this or you have to buy that. Yeah. It really does depend on budget, how you wear it, and the confidence that you have wearing it.
So in terms of style empowerment, I heard that your father's own journey with self-confidence was a huge catalyst for what you do today.
Yeah.
Can you tell us how seeing him struggle
Yeah.
shaped the way you help people today.
Yeah, that is pretty much the reason that Stylish Agency exists. And he passed away in 2018 from bowel cancer. And when he passed away, he died with a lot of regret and a lot of things that he hadn't realised, like the self-realisation hadn't taken hold. So he was a genius, an absolute genius. He could do absolutely anything. And when I say that, I truly mean it. He had a photographic memory.
Wow.
And he was a photographer, but also had a photographic memory.
Wow.
He built a wind turbine for our backyard just by it was called the Wind Turbine Recipe Book. So he built a wind turbine just by reading this thing. He was a carpenter. Half the furniture in my house is built by him. He made the blades for the wind turbine himself. He did all the electronics. He was an electrician, a mechanic. He learnt to fly a plane. He had his own photography studio in Queen Street for years. He used to do all the campaigns for Bones and Jeans West back in the day. And he was this incredible, curious person, but always had crippling self-doubt.
Right.
And the self-doubt and it's
even after
why would you have it? Because I honestly think he could have been the next Elon Musk. Like in my head, I would look at him, I just said, if you could have just saw what I see, believed that you could be more, he would just have been incredible. And obviously when he passed away, I had my daughter, and I remember feeling, I don't want my daughter looking at me the way that I looked at my dad and feeling that hurt and pain that he never got to do what he wanted to do. I want her to look at me and go, yeah, my mum gave it absolutely everything that she had, and she fought for whatever she wanted. So I decided that Stylish Agency was going to be a thing, and it was always a side hustle. And at the end of 2024, I quit my job and I went all in with Stylish Agency, and it was a slow burn, I have to say. And then around mid-year, it just, with the help of a website designer who's also become a friend now, who helped me rebuild my website and helped me with Google Ads, and it just went from zero to hero. And I'm a fully booked personal stylist now.
Wow.
And my daughter can see the hustle. She can see the hustle that I put in.
It's so important.
It's what I want her to be. I want her to hustle. I don't want things to be super easy for her. I want her to see that things hard work matters. It pays off.
Yeah.
And I don't ever want her to feel sorry for me.
Yeah.
You know, and I feel like parents are your biggest vision for the future. Mm-hmm. You can either look at them and think, I will never be like that, and use that to change how you are as a person today. Yeah. Or you can look at them and go, I'm going to take those things because they're amazing and I'm going to change the rest.
Exactly.
So I want to try and be the best. Yeah. So she takes all the best things with her and then adds to those pieces again. Yeah. And just builds on those, because I honestly believe if you look at your parents, they are your future. Yeah. And you can learn from that.
Yes. Or
now
take a little side path.
And take a side path. Like my mum is in a home with dementia at the moment. So after Dad passed away, she became quite unwell. And I think now looking back, she always had a little bit of mental health issues, but growing up you don't really look at it and think of it as
it's anything. All you know.
It's all you know. Yeah. And now that she has got dementia and it's at a quite serious state, she still knows who I am. But that also is the reason for me to do everything now, so that my 80-year-old self will go, thank you, Rosie, for making sure that you ate well, you exercised, you connected with good people, you surrounded yourself with like-minded human beings, you did everything that you can. So a lot of my friends and a lot of my family are like, you're always doing something. You always like, why? Like, do you ever stop? I'm like, well, I want to put my name on the end of each day and go, I gave this day everything I had.
I couldn't agree with you more.
Everything.
And also you're using your mind.
Yes.
You're using your mind while you have it all intact, because I honestly feel as well, if you don't use it and, through working for yourself, hustling,
Yeah.
thinking, doing
Yeah.
everything hands on yourself, you're keeping so active up here as well, which is
Yeah.
so healthy
Yeah.
for
And
you.
learning, like just
Learning.
educating yourself
Love it.
as much as you can, especially in this AI age.
Yeah,
Like if you are not using AI,
yeah,
get
that
on
was my
board,
next question.
Get on the train, the AI train, because
don't be like, oh, did they write that with AI? Oh, because it's a give and take. Like, yeah, we're not going to do everything. Let them write everything for us, but it's a good guide. And if it's like I did last week, the work I did, I'm sure it was for the equivalent of 12 people with the help of AI.
Absolutely.
So is there any tools in particular that you like to use in your business that help you?
Yes. Well, obviously ChatGPT is, the go-to, but I use it not just for, the questions that I need answered. I use it to help create content, content ideas, act as a marketing agent, tell me the best ways to, give me some tips or create a content calendar. I use Claude now a lot, which I have found I find it a little bit more creative than ChatGPT. Do you use Claude?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
It took me a while to get on Claude because I tried once before. I found it a little bit tricky. But now it just seems to have worked for me.
Yeah.
But I'm finding that it's kind of like a little bit more intelligent. I don't know.
Yeah, I think I agree with you.
Yeah.
I mean, look, I haven't used it enough to compare, but from what I have used probably the last month or so where I've really dug deep into it, it's really helped me be a better stylist.
Yeah.
So I feel like with AI, you've got to use it to make you a better person, not take over what you're already doing, but to make your work better. So I feel like the work that I'm producing and giving to my clients now
is a higher standard.
And that has helped me. I plug all the information in and it gives me this beautiful document that is impressive.
Because it all does depend on prompts as well, how you prompt it.
Yeah.
And, sometimes you can't take the first response, or quite often I don't take. I'm like 5 responses to 10 responses later.
Yeah.
Or like, no, can you tweak this, that? Yeah. But another good thing Claude does is like if you are working in Canva, it can produce you something that's editable in Canva.
Yes.
So then you have that template ready to go for next time, even if you didn't use Claude again.
That's right.
So
that's exactly right. And the thing about it is to do that manually, which is something that hours to do the research, and now you can just plug in all the information, tell it how you want it to look, and it produces this spectacular document.
I know, it's amazing.
That you don't have to pull information from all these different places. Yeah. It's just you. And now I use the voice.
Yes,
rather than typing, and it's just saved so much time.
I honestly feel that in the next year or two, or might be a little bit more, that we won't really be typing much anymore. It's all going to be voice recognition.
Yeah,
like as it is now. I'm a big voice note person.
Yeah.
It's just more personable.
I agree.
It's less intrusive than a phone call.
Yeah.
It's just the way to go.
Yeah.
But so there any other tools? You got Claude, ChatGPT.
Yeah. So I also use a AI builder called Replit. I don't know if you've heard of Replit.
No, I haven't heard of that.
So basically it's an app builder, and I'm experimenting with my web designer on building my own personalized stylish agency CRM. So we're working we've built the bones of it, and now we're just going to try and develop that a little bit more.
That is so exciting.
So, there are apps out there that I use, which I use Pipedrive. I don't know if you've heard of Pipedrive. So that's a CRM already built. So it's similar to HubSpot, Pipedrive, where you can integrate your tools like Xero. I need to integrate Google Drive for all of my client images, that sort of thing. So it's very much learning about how to build this system. So I'm learning how to do that, which is awesome.
Yeah, I love it.
It's scary. It's a scary place. Like anything learning new and anything change is very scary. But the more you do it, it's like building a muscle.
Exactly.
It's,
this time next month, you'll be like, I know all about it.
Yeah. So Replit is another one. Gosh, there's AI
this
and everything.
This is so good because I haven't heard of these, and I thought I knew every single one.
Yeah,
Because I was
unless-
using Manus for a while, the
Okay.
Meta AI one.
Yes, yeah.
But then they had an update and there was some problems and
Yeah.
they couldn't do what they used to do because China didn't let them, something
Yeah.
like that. It all looked too complicated for me, and I was like, and that was such a shame because I really, really liked that app. That would integrate so many things. It was like a Claude. It would build so many things for you.
Yeah.
But no, so I was looking for something similar to that, and I've
Yeah.
landed on Claude. But so happy with that.
Yeah.
But it's just so good to be able to have heaps of AI
Just all the different tools.
assistance. And when you're looking at the cost of those things, it's much
Nothing.
cheaper than having to hire staff.
A VA. Even.
A VA. Yeah, exactly.
An international VA.
Yeah,
even. So,
that's right.
No, it's definitely good.
Exactly.
So,
yeah.
Yeah.
So, and when you started, did you start with, did you have to invest a whole heap of money, or did you sort of just start slowly and it's something that it's just you, so you could just...
With Replit?
with your stylish agency.
So, yes, I invested in the Australian Style Institute course.
Yeah.
So that was my biggest outlay, I guess,
yeah.
To this day. And now I invest in Google Ads, my marketing, that sort of thing. So my CRM, all my apps that I use that integrate into my CRM.
Yeah.
So it's not a lot, and it's more so time. I invest a lot of time.
Yeah, that's
rather than money.
Yeah, which is great because then you can mold sort of like how much you invest in and how much time you put in.
Yeah.
It's really good.
Yeah.
So if you had to leave us today with one piece of advice you want every single woman to remember when she looks at herself in the mirror tomorrow morning, what would you leave women with?
Yeah, good question.
Yeah.
And I would say I'm going to focus this around confidence. And confidence, I think people think that confident people are fearless, but confidence comes from acting first, seeing the evidence, and then the confidence comes after that. So just do the thing. So let's use style because we are here and we're doing a styling session. We're talking about styling. A lot of my clients will reach out to me or put a query through the website, and that's it. They don't go any further than that.
Yeah.
So that's as much action that they'll take.
Right.
Then there's the clients that go to that next step where we get to talk, and then that's where it happens, because I encourage them to act, because acting first, because a lot of people say, oh, I'm not ready yet. I haven't got the body yet. I'm going to lose a few kilos. I'm here to say that the opposite is true. Once you act and you see the evidence that comes from dressing well, the weight will fall off.
So true.
Your actions are your evidence, and that creates confidence. And that's not necessarily in a styling, realm. That is anything.
It is.
Take the first step because you don't know where that next step's going to lead. So just jump in head first.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like we saw from the little quote up on the wall, you're exactly where you need to be.
Oh,
take that step.
Take the step.
Yeah.
And we are all on our paths and our journeys. And I feel like the divine, the universe has our path laid out for us, and we just have to trust that journey.
Yeah.
But we
and
also
it has
have
our
to
best
trust
interest.
ourselves to go on the journey.
Exactly.
Don't just leave it and go, I'm just going to, someone's going to make me
How
walk.
many
You
times?
have to do it yourself.
How many
You've got to
times
take
have
action.
we said like, oh, I'm not ready to public speak. I'm not ready to sing on stage. I'm not ready to, but if you did it and then you came off the stage or wherever you were going, you come off going, oh my God, I actually did that.
Did
it. You have this different feeling.
It's evidence.
Yeah, it's evidence.
It's the evidence that you can do it, and the more you do it, your confidence will grow.
So true.
It is hands down the one piece of advice.
I've never heard it explained like that, but it's so true.
Yeah, and I think any type of action, whether it's the business, getting to the gym, whatever, chasing the male or female or whatever, make the call. Yeah. Apply for the job you're not qualified for. Yeah. Just take action, because you just don't know where your next step is going to lie.
Exactly. You could be surprised.
100% massive surprise.
Yeah. It's been so good talking to you today. I've learnt heaps.
Good.
Can't say I'm not going to send you a selfie soon for some advice.
You're gorgeous.
But
My
it's
goodness.
been so good. Thank you so much for coming on the show. And we'll see you next time.
Thank you so much, Bernadette.
Thank you.